Hey cuties, how are you? I'm going to get started. I'm going to talk about manifesting with water. There's a lot of science to water memory, and it's been debunked and it's been proven and it's all over the place. I'm going to try to talk about that in a cogent way at some point. But every time I start to try to do this, I don't do a good job. Check out the glasses, got my last name on it without an apostrophe, LeClaire. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 2-glass method to manifest and the 1-glass method. I prefer the 1-glass method. And if I get around to it, I'll talk about the science or maybe in another video. Let's say you want to be in a great relationship. What you would do, I'm going to use the big thick marker so you can see. I'm going to say something like not in a relationship. So in other words, what you do is you take 1 glass of water, kind of talking about the situation as it is, or don't have the great job, don't have the promotion yet, don't have the business up and booming, don't have the new house, don't have the great health or the being in the shape of my life or something like that. And the idea is you'd put it under the water on a paper, or you could tape it to the glass, and you would just recognize and know that this is where you are. This is your state. All right. This is resonating with you. Right. Then what you want to do is I'm going to use a heart to represent I'm in a great relationship. Again, or you have the job of your dreams, or you have the great career, or you got the promotion, or you got the great house, you got the health, the fitness, whatever it is you're wanting. And then you simply just pour the glass into the other glass. And you could just get rid of that. So you could actually meditate, pray 1 minute, 10 minutes. You could leave it out under the stars. You could leave it out under the moon, have a great time with yourself. I mean, there's lots of ways to do this. Some people will take a really pretty bottle and they'll put it under the moon or under the sun, and they'll meditate over it and look at it and love on it and keep the thing taped to it, say, to the side. And then it would sip it every day. That's one way to do it. I'm a sloppy worker. I'm a pretty sloppy worker. So what I like to do is I like to just do this kind of work and then I just drink it down. Like, and drink it down right there. And you could do it every day, every other day. Like I said, when I do manifesting, I do what I want when I want. So I don't really concern myself too much with being high church about it, if you will. Like, so I just do what I want. And I would just drink it down. So that's one way. That's the 2-glass method. And the idea is you're actually changing the information in the water to being from the state of not being to being, not having to having, the promotion, no promotion to the promotion, no raise to the raise, no love to the love, no health to the health, that kind of thing. And then you're changing it and you're actually instructing your body to change as you're taking, you're looking at this from a homeopathic kind of view where this actually connects with all the water in your body. And you begin to walk around and it changes your paradigm. It changes your subconscious programming to begin to attract a great relationship or the promotion or the job or the fitness, whatever. Okay, that's the 2-glass method. I'm not a fan of it because I think the body already understands that the state you're already in. But if it's important to you, do the 2-glass method. I would just simply get a glass of water and put it over what you want. And I just do the 1-glass method. And I skip the other side, but do it if it feels, if it suits you and if you like it, for sure. And then I would just, again, you could meditate, pray, look at it, intend that you're in that great relationship or the promotion or whatever, the new house. And you just imagine it. And again, do it pleases you. You could sit it in a bed of salt. You can put crystal in it. You could put it under the sun, under the moon, under the stars. You could put tarot cards under it. Like some people will put like the lover's card and set it on the lover's card. I've done that with people before, or whatever, or the 10 of Pentacles for money, or the Ace of Pentacles for money, something like that. So you could put it like that. And then you could just drink that water. Again, you could drink a sip every day or drink it, whatever. So there is that. And I wanted to just do that for you. It's another fun little technique. And I'm going to try to talk about the science a little bit. I've tried to do this about 10 times and I just flub it because part of this is mystical. Part of it's not well understood, but I want to talk about the angle under the water molecule and why it's possible, why it might have memory. So I'm going to talk about the work of Dr. Luc Montagnier to keep this short. Dr. Luc Montagnier was a Nobel Prize winner because he discovered that AIDS was a virus back in the day. And interestingly enough, or not, I was a scientist. Back in 1984, I was in a lab at NIH in the US in Bethesda, Maryland at USUS, Uniformed Services University of the Health Science. We actually call it useless. In the military, we called it useless. But anyway, I'm going to have enough here. So we were there also madly trying to figure out if that, whatever it was that was harming gay men, in our case from Belgium and the Netherlands. That's where our samples were coming from, to see if it was a virus or not. And we were madly seeking that out. But Luc Montagnier got to it first, and their lab won the Nobel Prize. But anyway, and later on in his career, he looked at the work of this guy, Dr. Benveniste, who was working with molecules in solution. And the simple way to put it is that he was looking at and measuring reactions of two chemicals in a solution, two molecules, like a reactant or an antigen and the histamine molecule. Histamine is what you release during an allergic reaction. So he was basically looking at the level of histamine or allergic reaction with molecules. Now, the food industry does this. Other industries do this to make sure things aren't harmful to humans, as if they care, but to make sure to see the allergic factor that the stuff they're putting in our foods is going to, is going to bother us or not, for food safety and stuff. So there's things called the histamine assay, which does this kind of stuff. So Dr. Benveniste was doing something like that. And they're looking for reactions, and his lab tech was actually titrating or diluting down the molecules in solution, the reactant to the histamine, to where there was actually, she mistakenly did it where there's statistically no molecules left in solution, just the histamine. And what they found was that actually she got a reaction, and so they got results even that you'd think they shouldn't, because there's no molecules, no reactant in the solution. So she went to Dr. Benveniste and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And he scolded her, chided her, and made her do it again. But then they started doing a whole series of experiments looking at diluting down these factors till they're statistically 1 to 1,000, 1 to 10,000, 1 to 100,000. There shouldn't be any reaction in the glass, but there was. Now, this is getting into other work by Dr. Fritz Popp, where you can shine nanometers of wavelengths of light through, say, salamander eggs into frog eggs, through certain glass cuvettes. And actually the frogs, some of them would develop into salamanders, just because the light with the water or something like that was informing the water by taking some of the DNA information from the salamander eggs to the frog eggs. It's crazy stuff, guys. But anyway, I'm going to tell you about, but Dr. Luc Montagnier picked up the work by Dr. Benveniste. So he was just exploring this question, does water have memory? He actually was able to demonstrate that he took the HIV virus, the viral DNA, it could be diluted down, so statistically there was none in solution. But he found that the signal of the DNA could be sent digitally in a computer file to somewhere else on another computer. The digital file could be downloaded, and it could be used to actually reconstitute the same viral DNA sequences to a 98% effectiveness, or accuracy. With the right substrates. I mean, there are amino acids in the water. It's just the DNA reconstituted itself, and the studies are there. And it's crazy, in a glass of water, not even solution. So it was crazy stuff. And so here's what we think is going on, maybe. That something mystical, again, I'm not going to explain it well, but that is in this angle, that the hydrogen atoms and the oxygen atoms actually talk to other molecules in the water because of the electrostatic forces. The oxygen carries a net negative charge. So in solution, the hydrogen atoms of other water molecules are kind of congregated around this, and vice versa. These hydrogen atoms who are positive would aggregate and clump with oxygen, the oxygen side of other water molecules. So they bump into each other, they clump, they aggregate depending on the temperature of the water and such. And so they clump. Well, what's going on is in the angle, for some reason, in this angle under the oxygen molecule, information is stored. Information is stored, like what a virus DNA is supposed to look like, or what a homeopathic remedy is supposed to do. And while they don't attach and keep strings of each other, they bump into each other and disaggregate and move around. I think the information kind of bumps its way along and bumps its way so that all the water molecules know it. And they can actually carry out the reaction in lieu, or instead of the actual molecule that's supposed to have the reagent. There's something it's almost like the water is able to manifest it for you. It manifests the reaction, the reagent or the reactant, which is not even in the water, it was supposed to do or intending to do. It's almost like it understood the intention of the molecule. So just very cool stuff. And I think there really is something to this stuff. It's pretty cool. So go ahead and try to manifest with 2 glasses or 1 glass. And I'll stop now because I'm kind of butchering the science, but I really like it. I used to be a scientist till I realized I just didn't, resonate with it anymore too much. I want to do metaphysical things. So you guys be blessed. I'm going to re-listen to this and see if it's any good. I've tried to record this 10 times. Blessings, you guys. Take care.